Hi there, welcome to theclearskinessentials.com. I'm Natasha St. Michael, and today I want to talk about diet for melasma, what to eat and not to eat to get rid of hyperpigmentation and melasma. So I got 3 suggestions, 3 things that you can get started with today. Super simple. The first step I would recommend is to bring down the inflammation in your body, okay, by eating real food. Okay, this is number 1, super simple. My recommendation is to start eating, if you can, a diet that is mostly or completely whole, real foods. Super important. Because the main thing is that with melasma and hyperpigmentation, even though you see those dark spots like on the surface of your skin, the problem is actually deep inside your skin. And it's deep inflammation. That's either triggered by your hormones, it could be triggered by blood sugar, it can also be triggered by the sun, or a combination of those things. But it's happening deep inside your skin. It's not something that you can wash off, it's nothing you can scrub off. It's not on the surface of your skin. It's just showing on the surface, but really it's deep inside. And it's inflammation. And the inflammation you need to get rid of through your diet and your lifestyle. That's what's going to help to kind of bring down that fire, because inflammation is kind of like irritation and it's deep, right? And if you're eating foods that are just irritating your body more and inflaming it more, it's going to show on the melasma. And that's why no matter what you put on your skin and no matter how much you avoid the sun, that melasma keeps coming back or it keeps getting darker and darker. A lot of times it's because you're not dealing with the root cause. And so we need to get to that root, and that is to deal with the inflammation itself. So the first step is pretty much to be eating whole, real foods, fresh food, right? So, and what that is pretty much you just want to be eating food that is fresh and you're getting either from the grocery store or from a market, or you're growing yourself, right? And it's food that is like fruits and vegetables, it's whole grains, beans and legumes, meats, fish, nuts and seeds, things like that, eggs. You know, it's real food. When you look at the food, you know where it came from. It didn't come from a factory. It didn't come out of a box. It's not powdered. It's real, fresh food, and you're hopefully preparing it yourself as well. And all the ingredients you're using are fresh and they're real. You know, you want to just stay away from chemicals. You want to stay away from processed food and things that contain like additives and artificial sweeteners and all of that. You know, you don't want to be eating fast food or soda or pre-made packaged foods or things that come out of a can or a box or, you know, like none of that. You really want to be making your own fresh, real food, number 1. And it's so simple, you know, don't overthink it. Just be like, you know what, I'm going to eat real foods and I'm going to prepare my food myself. You will see just by doing that, it really helps to bring down that inflammation. And along with that, I would say too, is do your best to avoid alcohol, reduce the coffee in your diet. That will help as well. And if you have any food allergies, don't eat those foods you're allergic to. If you suspect you have a food allergy or you suspect you're at least sensitive to certain foods, then stay away from it, because every time you eat foods that you're sensitive to or allergic to, that is feeding that fire of inflammation. Okay, so if you think, you know, hey, I don't feel so good eating dairy products, it makes you bloated or gassy, don't eat it, because that's probably affecting your melasma as well. Okay, so whatever you suspect doesn't agree with your body, stay away from that too. Okay, that's the first step. Second step, my recommendation, and this is just what I've seen over and over again, is that since melasma is connected to your hormones, okay, I would say majority of people that have issues with melasma and hyperpigmentation, it has to do with your hormones that are affecting that inflammation, okay? And if you can do things to help balance out your hormones better, that can make a huge difference in the melasma and in that inflammation. And the one type of food that I see that really throw people's hormones off are carbohydrates, and it's just eating too much of it. And this could be processed carbohydrates, like eating too much sugar, eating too much like processed starches like chips, or too much bread, or like too much processed food that contains either too much sugar or too much starches. Or it could even be eating whole foods, like natural foods, that also contain too much sugar or too much starches. So let's say you're watching this now and you're like, yeah, I eat a lot of processed food. Then focus on eating just whole, real foods. But if you're watching this now saying, you know what, I eat all natural, healthy, whole foods, and I am still dealing with this melasma, then I would say we need to look deeper into the carbohydrates in your diet, like fruit, like whole grains, like beans and legumes, like vegetables that are very starchy, like potatoes or root vegetables. You need to be looking into that and decreasing that, because that very well could be what is throwing that inflammation off and causing that melasma. It's throwing your hormones off. That's like sort of, it's like a domino effect, right? If your hormones are being thrown off, that's going to affect the inflammation, which is going to affect the melasma. So what you want to do is decrease the carbs in your diet. And one recommendation I have, if you're uncertain sort of like where the root problem is with the carbs, is keep a food diary for like 3 days or 5 days, okay? And then at the end of those 3 to 5 days, circle every single carb that you've eaten over those past 3 to 5 days. And you will see, okay, what can I take out? What can I start adjusting? What can I take a break from or replace with something that's got more proteins in it, more fats? And that's something like, for some of you, it might be you're eating too much fruit or you're eating too many whole grains. And just by switching some things up to be having more proteins and fats, you can actually see a big difference in your skin. Okay. I went through this like years ago. I've talked about this many times on my blog, that many years ago I did like a fruitarian cleanse where I just ate fruit for like, I don't know, maybe a month or two, and my face blew up with melasma. I had it all over my upper lip, all over my forehead, my like around my nose. Like, it was awful. It was the worst melasma. And as soon as I started like seeing it just getting worse and worse and worse, and connecting it to all that fruit I was eating, and taking a break from the fruit, I didn't completely eliminate the fruit, but I decreased it like tremendously. The melasma started disappearing. And it took a while. It didn't take like a week. It didn't take a month. It took a good, I would say, like 6 months for it to completely go away. But it did go away as long as I was very mindful with how much fruit I was eating, where I was allowed to have a little, but not too much. And so my recommendation is you need to assess your diet and where those carbs coming from that you can experiment with to see, like, if you take it out or you cut it down drastically, what will happen with your skin. And do that for at least 1 month to see how your skin responds. If the melasma starts fading and getting better, then you know you're on the right track. And then my third recommendation is to be adding in more antioxidants into your diet. Because the main thing is with antioxidants is it helps to protect your skin from sun damage and also just from cellular damage and inflammation. Okay, so thing with antioxidants is you want to be getting it from your food. You don't want to be like taking supplements or like powdered foods that say they're high in antioxidants. You want to get it from real food, okay? Because that is more sort of more absorbable. It's more available to your body to actually do something with it. And so with antioxidants, that includes eating foods that are like high in vitamin A, foods that are high in vitamin C, vitamin E, beta carotene. Foods that are rich in antioxidants are usually fruits, vegetables, beans and legumes, nuts, things like that. And usually they have a deep pigment. That's how you, like a deep pigment or color. And that's how you would know, like for example, like blueberries, right? Or blackberries or raspberries. Those have a deep color and they're very high in antioxidants. And same thing with like nuts. They're like pecans are very high in antioxidants and it's a dark brown. Or broccoli or kale, those kind of things too have a lot of antioxidants and they're that deep green. So pretty much you want to be eating a lot of colorful food. So, and that too can help protect your skin, not only from like sun damage, but cellular damage that is contributing to sort of the abnormal cells deep in your skin and that inflammation. Okay, so more colorful food, all real food, and be very, very mindful with the carbohydrates. These 3 things can really help to get rid of melasma and hyperpigmentation. Super simple as long as you stick with it. The main thing is that it's keeping it simple, but it's keeping consistent. You got to do it for at least a month to see how your skin is responding to the change of diet, to know if this is working for you, if it's not. And it's not to say in 1 month you're going to be melasma free. What it's saying is that within a month, you should start seeing improvements in your skin to know that what you're doing is helping and to continue. And it could take a few months, because the main thing is that our skin goes through a cycle, right? Like a turnover, where it's 1 full month or like 30 days at least, where it takes your skin to kind of turn over, where you get new skin coming to the surface. So you can't expect massive like changes in one skin cycle. You know, it has to take a few cycles in order for that new skin to come to the surface, you know, but it's all about treating the root, the cause, the deep issue inside your skin, as opposed to always focusing so much on what you're doing to the surface. And one last thing too that I do want to mention is that there's 2 things. If you're going to change your diet and try and get rid of that melasma from the inside out, I do want you to make sure to be protecting your skin from the sun. Okay, so you need to be using like sun protection, like wearing a hat, like sunscreen. Don't go sunbathing, things like that. You have to really be good about taking care of your skin and protecting it from the sun. And the second thing too is that if you are taking hormones, right? Like let's say you're taking hormone replacement therapy, or you're on birth control, you're on like the birth control pill or patch or injection, or you're using an IUD, things like that. Those kind of things could be causing your melasma. And if you continue, let's say, being on the pill and doing all these other things, hoping to get rid of the melasma, that pill could be causing the melasma, that no matter what you do, you're never going to eliminate it, because you keep feeding your body the thing that's causing it. Okay, so you need to just make sure to assess your situation, that you are protecting your skin from the sun, that if you have melasma from the pill or from birth control or hormone replacement therapy, that you find you do something else, you take that out of the equation, because no matter what you do, if you're taking these things in that are causing that melasma, nothing you're going to do to eliminate it is going to work. You know, so you need to assess that situation too. And I just want to remind people about that, because some people are unaware that let's say they're taking the pill every day and they're like, why do I have melasma? You know, what can I eat or do to get rid of it? And it's like, it's that pill. You know, that's what's causing it. And you're not going to get rid of the melasma until you get off that pill and use some sort of other form of birth control that is not messing with your hormones. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. And I do want to mention too that I have a few other videos on melasma and hyperpigmentation, specifically skincare products and sunscreens, things like that, that I've used that have worked to really help protect your skin and help fade the melasma as well. So I find in general is that when you work on your diet, work on your skincare, work on protecting your skin from the sun, if you do all these things together, plus have like a balanced and healthy lifestyle, you'll get the best results, you know. So I will put links below to other videos you can check out about other things you can do to help get rid of melasma and hyperpigmentation. All right, so if you like this video, please like it, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.